Good Thursday evening. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. Yes, Thursday. We're so close to the weekend. We've almost made it here to Friday and then into the weekend. And this weekend is a long holiday weekend too. And of course, the weather's important on any weekend, but when you're talking about a long holiday weekend, the weather's even more important with that. And I've been pretty transparent with you through this week talking about the difficulties of forecasting this system that's going to be impacting us this weekend and the rain chances and who has a better chance of seeing rain versus folks who may not see any rain at all. And it's still pretty iffy. Not everything is set in stone right now, but we are beginning to see a little more consistency in the models here of what to expect. And that's what I'm going to break down for you coming up here in just a little bit. Now, we were spoiled the first part of the week when we've been dealing with the sunshine, temperatures that are below the average, the low relative humidity. We've just had some great days. I really think Wednesday was the best day of the week when we started off at 60 degrees in the morning. We had all that sunshine during the day. But then we were telling you about how we would begin to see some changes going toward the end of the week and into the weekend as the low relative humidity is going to be replaced by a little more humid air coming in. And then eventually that increase in the moisture content in the air would also help us to increase our rain chances a little bit. But even though the rain chances are coming up a little bit, they're not crazy rain chances. And today we started seeing some of the evidence of those changes moving in, and that was with the increase in our cloud cover. We were watching that build in for a big part of the day. We had some sunshine earlier today, and then into the afternoon and evening, that cloud cover started getting a little thicker here, and the coverage started getting greater over the metro area and North Georgia. And we were seeing fewer peaks of sunshine breaking through some of those clouds. But these clouds have not been giving us any rain. You can see around the metro area, mainly just cloudy skies. We don't have any rain around. We have been tracking just a few showers on the south side. If you were watching us at 5 and 6 o'clock tonight, 4, 5, and 6, we were watching just a couple of blips on the radar image down to the south of us in Henry County. Over in Jasper County, we had a little bit of that in Fayette County and Coweta County, just maybe a few raindrops there. But so far, most of any shower activity has generally been from LaGrange to Columbus over toward the Macon area. That line southward has been the areas that have seen that better chance of some showers. And so far, anything that's been happening down there has mainly been light. You can see just a little bit of that light rain from LaGrange down toward Columbus. That goes over toward Taylor County, down toward the Americus area as well. And even more down to the south, there have been a few other scattered showers around. There's a little bit more of the rain, though, when you head back over into Alabama, especially here in West Alabama. Now, we had some lighter showers around Montgomery earlier. That is what's falling apart as it comes into parts of west central Georgia. But there is more rain in Mississippi, coming out of Arkansas, moving into northern Louisiana, stretching back into Texas. We've even had some severe thunderstorms with that, some of those back in Arkansas and into the northern parts of Louisiana. Right now, no severe thunderstorm warnings, but coming into Jackson, Mississippi, we have a pretty good coverage of pretty good rain that's moving through those areas now. So what's happening is this rain is kind of moving along a stalled out front that is kind of draped over parts of the southeast, going down into areas of South Georgia. The tricky part of this forecast is we expect that front to start moving back up toward the north, and as it does, it's going to start spreading some of that moisture back up to the north as well. But what is not set in stone is, number one, how much rain that will be. Number two, how far north will that rain go? And that's where the models have not been agreeing at all. So that's what's been making this forecast going into a very important long holiday weekend. It's been a tricky forecast here. So I'll be breaking down what the latest models are showing us and what that means for rain chances. We're thinking that Saturday is going to be the day with the highest rain chance, but it may be more south of I-20 based on what we're seeing right now, and fewer showers north of I-20, and then a few showers lingering into Sunday and Monday, but they would be on the lower end there for Sunday, and then again for Labor Day coming up on your Monday. So here's a look outside right now. This is our tower cam over looking out toward the city of Atlanta. This is located at Arizona Avenue, right over the DeKalb County line, looking westward here toward the city. Just saw another nice sunset, although you couldn't really see much of that sun because of the clouds that we had around. We had just a little bit of color there in the sky as the sun was going down. This is our view at 285 and Georgia 400 at Northside Hospital, looking up toward the King and Queen building, looking northward up 400. This is 285 coming right here, and of course all the ramps right there at that interchange. And it's a pretty nice night. If you don't mind the clouds around, temperatures are still really comfortable out there. And looking here over the city of Atlanta, this is our tower cam there at Georgia Tech. Looking down on the downtown buildings here too. Lights right now at the stadium there at Georgia Tech. Now Georgia Tech is playing Colorado tomorrow night in Colorado though, not here in town, but that's going to be a big game coming up tomorrow night as college football season is starting. And then Georgia will be playing in Athens, 3:30 on Saturday. Marshall's coming to town. So many big games for this first official weekend of college football. So enjoy it out there. But will the weather cooperate? We'll take a look at the Almanac for today. We got up to 83 degrees. Even with that cloud cover and not as much sunshine in the afternoon, we were still able to warm up to 83. But that is still 5 degrees below the average. 88 is the average high for this time of year. So we have been spoiled this week with those cooler than average temperatures and the low humidity and the dry air in place. This morning, we started off at 66, and that's not as cool as it was yesterday when we had a low of 60. So those morning temperatures coming up just a little bit as we're seeing a little bit more of that moisture coming in. And also when you start off with clouds in the morning and have clouds overnight, that holds in some of the warmth from the day. So that's why it didn't get as cold here this morning. The average low for this time of year is 70, so we were about 4 degrees below the average this morning, but still great to see those cooler temperatures around. No rain today, but our rainfall deficit growing a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch below where we should be in rainfall for the year. And here's how those temperatures kind of timed out today. When we had those mild temperatures this morning that were in the 60s, then still in the 70s at lunchtime, making it up to 83. I know this says 82 here, but in between those hourlies there, it did pop up to 83. And then lower 80s at 4 and 5. And now we're back into the 70s, pretty much holding there in the upper 70s at 78 degrees right now here in town. And of course, Atlanta being the urban heat island, holding on to the heat a little bit longer into the evening than the outlying areas. That's where we have the warmest temperature right now at 78. Now, we do have some cooler air outside the city. Marietta about 4 degrees cooler at 74, Lawrenceville 70, Canton 70, Gainesville 73. Look at Rome, 72, lower 70s in Peachtree City and Covington. Some 60s though, also mixing in upper 60s now in Carrollton and in Athens, and more of the 60s up in parts of North Georgia too. Tomorrow we start off at 64 in the city. So again, kind of cooler than average, but not as cool as it was yesterday morning. And then moving up into the 80s around noon to 1 o'clock. And then topping off, we think it's going to be a little warmer tomorrow, getting up to 86 degrees. We'll have clouds mixing in with the sun and a low rain chance here for tomorrow afternoon at only about 20%. And then it's on Saturday when we see the rain chance come up just a little bit more. So I want to spend some time here on the forecast track and just kind of walk you through this to show you what we're thinking. Now remember, we're talking about a stalled out front to the south, and that's going to be the focus of where we see most of that moisture and most of the rain chances that will be to the south of us. And that's where that moisture is really more abundant here. And I'll show you that on the moisture map in just a second. But here's what we're watching. Tonight, we've been watching just a few of those little isolated showers on the south side. Really just a few sprinkles there, well to the south of I-20. And that's where they're pretty much going to stay. And then they're going to fall apart. By tomorrow morning, we'll have some sunshine mixing in with a few clouds here. More sun up to the north side. This is at 7 in the morning. But still, Thomaston and LaGrange southward is where we'll see a few of those showers here to start the day. And then at lunchtime, those showers pretty much staying down to the south. And then once we get to the afternoon, a couple of those try to build northward, but there's not a big coverage of that at all. So that's why we have just a 20% chance for a shower developing here in our area for tomorrow afternoon. I'm really thinking most of us will stay dry. Saturday is when it turns a little tricky, all right, because some of that moisture is going to start pushing back up toward the north. And as I mentioned earlier, how much rain would that be and how far north will it go? So the models, as I've been telling you, have not been in agreement. They're starting to come together a little bit. At first, the European model was showing a lot of rain. And the GFS model, the American model, was showing nothing in our area. Now, the European is showing less rain, but the GFS is showing a little bit more, the American model. So these models are starting to kind of get a little more consistent. This is the graph model, or one of our in-house models that we use. And it is showing Saturday morning a better coverage of rain pretty much on the south side. Let's say roughly along I-20 and southward is the better chances of seeing some of the rain on Saturday morning. On the north side, again, it's not like I-20 is a wall and nothing's going to go over that. There may be a few showers north of I-20, but that's just a rough dividing line where the chances are higher to the south, a little bit lower up to the north here. So that's Saturday, 7 o'clock in the morning. At noontime, we don't see a big push north with those showers. Still, some of those showers mainly confined to the south side Saturday at noon, not as much on the north side. Of course, this is important for the Georgia game in Athens. It's at 3:30. People are going to be tailgating, though. So this model is showing those showers south. Maybe a couple of pop-ups developing here. And then in the later afternoon hours, again, a few showers to the south, but then there may be just a couple of spotty showers on the north side. So we're going with a 40% chance for showers right now, but I think that rain chance will be lower on the north side and maybe a little bit higher on the south side. So that's just kind of the dividing line we have right now. Now, let me preface all that by saying that's based on this run of the models. We're going to get a new update in closer to 11 o'clock tonight. And this may be totally different based on what the latest data is showing here. So that's just based on what we're seeing out there right now. So my whole point in saying that is just because I just showed you that, don't turn off and just say, okay, I know what's happening and never look at the weather again until Saturday afternoon. Keep up with us tomorrow morning with Chesley. Come back to me tomorrow afternoon as well. Keep up with our website and our app so you can kind of keep up with any changes that we have in there in the forecast, because these models have just been all over the place. Now Sunday, a few clouds in the morning and then a mix of sun and clouds by afternoon, maybe a couple of those scattered showers around. Now here's the moisture map that shows that dry air tonight. That's the blue and purple color here to the north. As you get to Atlanta, you see those colors lightening up a little bit, and then down to the south, and especially here to the south and west, where you see the yellows and oranges, that's where there's a lot more moisture there in the atmosphere, and that's helping to sustain some of that rain that I just showed you on radar a little bit earlier back into Mississippi and also Louisiana. So tomorrow, the bulk of that real abundant moisture is going to be more to the south of us. And then into Saturday, it does lift up to the north a little bit, but it looks like the better coverage of moisture will be on the south side. Sunday, still a low rain chance at about 30%. Monday, holding on to a low rain chance, not a lot of showers around. Really, the humidity levels coming up a little bit more. And then just low rain chances going into next week too, maybe a little higher chance, 30% possibly on Wednesday before we dry out a little bit more by the end of next week. So that's just based on what we're seeing right now. And the dew points, that's the actual measure of how much moisture is in the atmosphere. It's been very comfortable, but notice there as that moisture moves in, especially into the weekend, those dew points start coming up, feeling a little more humid, but at least it's not the oppressive type of humidity that we often see here in the month of August. Temperatures, actually rain chances, 20% chance Friday, 40% Saturday, 30% Sunday, then back to 20% here on your Monday as well as on Tuesday. Now let's take a look at those temperatures. Low temperatures staying below average. We should be around 70 this time of year. So they start coming up a little bit and then back down, but generally they're lows in the 60s, highs in the 80s. Tomorrow will be a little warmer at 86, and then generally lower 80s going through the weekend and also into next week. So here's that 7-day forecast where you can see that 20% chance for a shower Friday, 40% chance on Saturday, 30% chance on Sunday. And temperatures for the weekend, generally they're in the lower 80s, 82 Saturday, 83 Sunday. Monday and Tuesday, a 20% chance for a shower, morning lows in the 60s, afternoon highs in the lower 80s. And then back to a 30% chance for showers on Wednesday and on Thursday. So it's just really going to be chances of rain on the lower end, and they just kind of go up and down a little bit through the period. But also know through the next 7 days, each and every day, we'll see temperatures below average with morning lows in the 60s, afternoon highs in the low and even some mid 80s. So really not a bad outlook at all. It's just know that you'll have to dodge a few showers at times too. Come back to us again tomorrow morning with Chesley, throughout the day tomorrow with me in the afternoon and also into the evening, as we'll be fine-tuning those rain chances heading into this long holiday weekend. Thank you so much for watching this extended weather update. We'll have another update for you coming up tonight at 11 o'clock on 11 Alive News, as well as more updates for you throughout the day on Friday. Enjoy your night.